Something has to change. I don't want any more kids to die.
They found him in a park a short distance from here.
We had great insurance, and yet we were still turned away.
Every day that I'm sober shows me that I can get through anything without picking up a drink or a drug.
I just want to say keep fighting if you're battling addiction.
He was in Florida. He went out to get food at 3 in the morning for some friends and never came back.
Recovery is possible, and please keep the hope and tell somebody.
Come forth. It's not anything to be ashamed of.
All I have to say is wake up, Chris Christie. Kids are dying.
Hope is the only thing that keeps us alive, and we cannot continue to lose our kids.
Chasing the Dragon is the endless journey taken on by heroin addicts trying to get back to that euphoria that they experienced when they first got high. The heroin epidemic seems out of control in this country, spiking since 2010, the number of people addicted and suffering. In New Jersey, it's particularly troubling as the deaths are 3 times the national average.
This is what you see in the headlines, but this is reality.
We are bringing you tonight a very special edition of Chasing News. We're chasing the out-of-control heroin and opioid addiction crisis in America and the families and the people that it impacts every day.
These stories and this subject matter may make you uncomfortable. They're not easy to digest, but you can't simply look the other way anymore. Addiction is everywhere you turn. I've sat in the living rooms, I've seen the tears, I've seen the pain on loved ones' faces.
I mean, there's nothing I can't say.
I breathed so hard as I could to make him breathe, but I couldn't.
I'd like to now introduce you to TJ Walsh. When we first brought TJ to you, he was homeless, heroin addicted, and begging for money to feed his addiction. We're on a journey today to save one life if we can. It's not going to be easy, but we've assembled a team. The first with us is great friend of the show, Jay Lassiter.
I hope today's the day for TJ. I hope that we can get in there and we can make some magic and convince him that this is the right thing to do, but like, he's a drug addict. Yeah. And like, we're never rational. I mean, if he's got a lot of heroin on him, he's probably not gonna come.
Right. We're going to meet Christy Walsh. We're gonna meet her mother, who actually hasn't spoken to her son in a few years. Well, today we have a family in here. They've lost their son, their brother, their nephew. He's on the streets over under the Ben Franklin Bridge. Homeless, addicted to heroin, college graduate, handsome kid, and
I can relate.
Yeah,
we're gonna go save him.
When did you guys first see a change in your brother?
A change? Oh, a long time ago. I would say right after he graduated college, actually. A little more distant, and it just escalated from there exponentially up until this point. You know, and he's a college graduate. He's very smart. You know, it's a testament to it can happen to anybody.
What did he start using? When did he start using, and how fast did that kind of get out of hand?
I couldn't tell you how fast because he kept it a secret very, very well. A lot of lies. It was pills, it was Percocet, it was Oxy. And when he was arrested in my kitchen in June of 2015, the officers let me know it's heroin.
Oh, wow.
And I was floored. I had not a clue.
I'm kind of thinking that the approach might be the presence. I think the 4 of us should kind of try to track him down, and I think the sight of the family members that he hasn't seen in quite a long time hopefully will spark some emotion.
This is where TJ would spend a lot of his time, panhandling over there, people getting on the Ben Franklin Bridge. We've got the whole team here. We're gonna scour the area. Around here? Yeah. You're the second person to say Greyhound, okay.
Well, TJ used to sleep here, is what this fellow told us. He recognized him. As far as this guy knows, he's now sleeping over where the tow trucks are.
How are you? Yeah, in a good way, man, in a good way. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. Oh, no, what?
I was locked up for my birthday, and then I missed my court date, so I got locked up 3 days ago.
Oh, my gosh, I can't believe we just ran into you, man.
Great.
How many days clean?
Today is 7.
Congratulations, man. When's the last time you had 7 days clean?
It's been a long time.
It's great.
Really long time. In jail? Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
What are you doing right now? You want to hang out with us
food,
for a
get some
bit?
meat?
Yeah.
Hang out?
All right, awesome, dude.
Maybe.
Let's go in. You guys say, oh, no, definitely not.
You know, in the past, substance abuse has been a big part of your life, and you know, life may not have worked out the way everyone might have thought.
Not at all.
And I work for a company called Ambrosia Treatment Centers. It's a national company. It's a really amazing program. And what we're looking to do is offer you a full scholarship to come to our program for a full 30-day stay, free of charge.
Really?
And then we want to set you up with housing after that and continued treatment through like an IOP program. And then obviously we're going to do this with the support of your family.
When can I leave?
Right now. Right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Before you guys pulled down the lane, I told you I was talking with Bill for the last 20 minutes, and I said, I can't believe that my family hasn't come like with one of these interventions yet. And I said, I know that's what this is. I said, I don't want them to see me until I shave. I said, and I told him. He said,
I like to see you just like this.
I know it's my family. I said, I hope that's what this is. And he's like, what are you gonna do? And I said, dude, I'm gone, bro. Like, I'm done with this. I can't do it. When I heard that you guys were out looking for me, it kind of scared me, but deep down inside I knew that it was a godsend, and I knew what it was, and I knew that I would accept whatever, if there was anything that you guys were offering other than telling me I need to get clean.
How you doing?
For the long haul.
Good, happy.
So Rohan, the big question is, how is he doing now?
I've been in close contact with TJ's family. He's out of rehab right now. He hasn't been himself for a couple of years. He's trying to find himself, and he's working on his sobriety, you know, on his own.
You know, the thing is, not everybody has a Rohan who's going to get in a van and track him down in the middle of the Philly streets. Is there hope among a lot of the people in the families?
You know, that's the interesting thing that you brought up is while I was looking for TJ, I spoke to a lot of people that were homeless and heroin addicted, and a lot of them said, man, I wish somebody was looking for me right now. And that hit me really hard.
Yeah, sure.
And that made the journey to find TJ, you know, a little stronger with his family and I. As for the other families, a lot of them have experienced loss already. They have lost the loved one that they had. They all wanted to do things differently, but there's not much that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, we did everything. It came down to him. There's nothing we could have done differently.
It's an everyday battle.
It's an everyday battle.
This is Stephen's Place Sober Living House.
Yeah, we make these blessing bags.
How long you been in the house for?
3 weeks, almost a month now.
How you liking it?
Yeah, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
The Schminke family, sitting in their living room, taught me everything I needed to know about heroin. Stephen lost his life after he overdosed in his mother's home. He did not get to witness the birth of his son, who is now named Stephen in his honor. The past few years have been tough on the Schminke family. Bill and Tammy's son, 26-year-old Stephen, was struggling heavily with heroin. A good man with demons pumping through his veins, that's what his family says. Stephen was living with his parents in Egg Harbor Township to try to get better for his girlfriend, Elizabeth, and two beautiful daughters, Abigail and Cassidy. His girlfriend is also currently pregnant with their third child. This seemingly was getting better, but it took a tragic turn on March 26th, the day before Easter. It was supposed to be a joyous day. The whole family planned to go out for an Easter egg hunt.
I thought he had a tissue in his nose and it was white foam. And I walked over and I said, come on, babe, we gotta go. We're gonna miss the Easter egg hunt. And he was cold and I yelled, Bill, I think he's dead. So my husband grabbed his feet and I grabbed his arms and pulled him to the floor. And I breathed so hard as I could to make him breathe. But I couldn't. I wanted to, but I just couldn't have it. I didn't have what it took to bring him. It was done.
Stephen was dead from a heroin overdose. Elizabeth herself, his girlfriend, has struggled with addiction but has since become clean.
It's an everyday battle. It's an everyday battle. Thank God that I'm in a program today because I don't know where I would be today. But I am sober and I'm here for my family today.
Now, Donnie Conklin is Stephen's cousin, but more like a brother. His father died from a heroin overdose 22 years ago. This is Tammy's brother. He's struggling with heroin addiction too, but after Stephen died, he stopped and is looking for help.
This really opened my eyes. I would have never got clean. Like I've tried, like I wanted to, and I've been just doing it just to not be sick, you know? It's like the devil.
One thing that's keeping this family together is that they will not let Stephen's death be in vain. They've made it their life's mission to save others through the memory of Stephen.
We want to impact lives. It's the whole idea behind doing this. We want to go places and tell Stephen's story. We want to sit in front of lawmakers. We're here to make a change.
There he is.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. This place is beautiful.
This is Stephen's Place Sober Living House. You know, each bedroom holds two guys. We have one bedroom that does sleep one.
Everything's donated in here.
Yeah, everything that you see. Guys try to get out as often as they can. All the stuff is donated. They give them bags with
Yeah, we make these blessing bags.
How long you been in the house for?
3 weeks, almost a month now.
How you liking it?
Yeah, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, man. We're all a tight-knit group. You know, we all get along, and we all help each other with each other's recovery.
Right.
Oh, just leave it on there.
Oh, look at that.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we did everything. It came down to him. There's nothing we could have done differently.
Now, New Jerseyans boast about our beautiful shore towns, but many turn a blind eye to the fact that Ocean and Atlantic County are the most deadly New Jersey counties regarding heroin overdose deaths. These two counties alone account for over 300 people that have died from heroin overdoses since the beginning of this year. I met a family, I'm in their living room right now, from Egg Harbor Township, that's dealing with the heavy loss of their brother and son, 29-year-old Christopher Cox, whose life spiraled downward until his last day, late October, when he died from a heroin overdose. His family was left to plan his funeral, never said goodbye. They tried everything to save him.
I was in active addiction, so I learned how to handle it. And I mean, I literally tried everything from my own faith to other faiths to tough love to overlove to
begging,
begging, pleading.
Christopher and his little brother Joseph were inseparable. They broke the law together, they did and sold drugs together, went in and out of jail and rehab together. That was until 4 years ago when Joseph decided to get clean. He remains clean and hardworking to this very day.
It's all a rush, and you're chasing that rush, and chasing that rush, and it's like when you realize that you can get the same rush out of doing something productive.
Christopher, however, could never escape the dark life of crime and addiction. Joseph was really raw in talking about their struggles, their connection, and the death of his beloved brother and who he called his best friend. Now, reading the room, his mother, his two sisters, his nephew, and his brother, I felt a different energy than stories before. This family's torn by the loss of Christopher, but also relieved for him. Christopher's brain, his mind, his heart, and soul don't have to deal with the chains that his addiction had on him anymore. They hope he's at peace.
What would you say to him if he was here right now?
It's never going to be the same. You know, you don't go back to living a normal life after losing somebody that close to you. And it's just, you just learn how to live differently. Even with the moments that come where you feel like you can't breathe, you still manage to make it through the day. We actually teamed up with Stop the Heroin. We created an app for them, and it's going to be available to everybody soon. So we're just trying to get that promoted and, you know, let everybody know that there's help.
I help people get into treatment now in honor of my son, Billy.
I just want to say keep fighting. If you're battling addiction, you can beat it.
I am 9 months clean actually today.
We have got to shatter this stigma. Hope is the only thing that keeps us alive, and we cannot continue to lose our kids.
All I have to say is wake up, Chris Christie. Kids are dying.
He was just out of a detox and was waiting for a bed for long-term care. We found him in his bedroom on a Tuesday night.
He fought addiction for about 8 years and relapsed in September, and it was fatal.
Around us are real people that beat their addictions, real people still in the fight, and real families living with unimaginable loss every single day.
I help people get into treatment now in honor of my son, Billy, who had just turned 20. He passed away from a heroin overdose. We had great insurance, and yet we were still turned away.
I've been clean since August 22nd, 2014. I just want to say keep fighting. If you're battling addiction, you can beat it.
I am 9 months clean actually today. It's been a really great road.
My name's Joe Ricci, addict in recovery since March 10th, 2012. All I have to say is wake up, Chris Christie. Kids are dying.
He was in a recovery place in Florida, and his probation made him come back, and they found him in a park a short distance from here in Trenton, and he had died of an overdose.
My name is Zach. I'm a member of CFC. What they do is great, and there is hope, so don't give up.
We have got to shatter this stigma. Hope is the only thing that keeps us alive, and we cannot continue to lose our kids.
He struggled for a lot of years in and out of rehab with just the minimum amount of time that they would give.
I've been in recovery since September 8th of 2007. I'm here to say that recovery is possible, and please keep the hope and tell somebody.
He had 2.5 years clean. He was in the Ocean County Drug Court program and looking forward to loving life. This was right before he actually passed away. Come forth. It's not anything to be ashamed of.
I'm Jason Rivera. I'm in recovery with CFC Loud and Clear. Together, we all help people get their lives straight in recovery.
My name is Sean. I'm in recovery since September 6, 2016, when I was asked to leave a detox due to lack of funding. I overdosed the same day and been in recovery since.
Every day that I'm sober shows me that I can get through anything without picking up a drink or a drug.
There is nothing to be ashamed of with being a drug addict. There is hope for you. We're proof of that.
And my son's in recovery for 3 years, thankful to CFC.
He wound up getting 4 years almost clean, was doing wonderfully. He was in Florida. He went out to get food at 3 in the morning for some friends and never came back. And 12 hours later, they found him dead in his car.
I'm one of the lucky ones who had easy access to treatment because I had good insurance. But I'm here today to support the true heroes, the moms and dads who lost their loved ones who are still out here fighting this fight.
I've struggled with addiction for many years, but fortunate enough, I've been sober since January 14th, 2011.
My frustration was not only having to endure the death of my youngest son, but the frustration at trying to get a phone unlocked to get information to bring the dealers to justice.
My name's Megan. I've been clean since April 28, 2016.
I've been sober since October 26, 2014, and I'm here to show that recovery is possible.
My son is in recovery 9 months today. It's been a tough road, but there's always hope.
My son Andrew Oswald passed away on January 27th. He was on heroin for 5 whole months. One of the worst parts about it is that I couldn't get him treatment in New Jersey because they said he didn't fit the criteria. Something has to change. I don't want any more kids to die.